As you can see, here we have two 3D models in the same document. The models are made up of complex shapes, but not that much. We can see some grooves here, cylindrical threads and tapered threads and other shapes. And these shapes are what we are going to see how to build in this video. Here we'll need to use more than one partisan body object. We will need to leave the main 3D modeling workbench, the partisan workbench, to create other shapes. We will also need to join and subtract material using other resources and subtracte too. I hope you like this video. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and if you want to support the content of this channel, there's a link in the video description to the channel's Ko-fi page, or you can buy the books that is appearing on the screen now. This way you will be supporting the channel. First, let's create a new document. Just press empty file on the partisan workbench, click on this icon to create a body object, and the next thing that we'll do is to start designing this first part here. So we'll start by creating a sketch for this shape here. Clicking the create sketch icon, this icon here, and next select the XY plane for this first sketch. And here we're in the sketch workbench. As you can see, now we need to go to sketch geometry, this tool here, and we need to select this tool here and start a geometry here on the region axis. And what to do now, just click on the vertical axis, and now we have this 1 degree of freedom. As you can see, the next thing that we have to do is to set the diameter of this construction cycle here. To do that, we use the dimension tool. Just click on this icon, and now just click here on the cycle and click off, and now set a diameter of 44 millimeters and enter. And now we have this. As you can see, this sketch is full constrained. As you can see, now we can close this. Just press here. To create this solid here, we have to use the pad tool of partisan workbench. With this sketch selected, just press pad tool, and here we have our shape. Okay, the length here must be 14 millimeters, and press enter. And next here, what we'll do is to create a cylinder for this part here. To do that, we can use a primitive shape. We need to go to Active Tools of Partisan, these tools here, and then click on this arrow and select Active Cylinder. Just click here, and next rotate this model in this way and zoom in, and now select this bottom face here. And here we have the cylinder. Now just click here to the front view. The next we'll change the radius here to 18 millimeters, and we'll set a height of 6 millimeters, and then press OK. And here we have the cylinder. The next thing that we'll do is to create this fillet here. The size of this is 2 millimeters. So what we do, we just need to select this edge here, this circular edge of the cylinder, and then press fillet tool. And also change the radius to 2 millimeters, and then press enter. Now that we have this, the next step is to create holes on this part here. So what we'll do first is to create a sketch on the can be on the front plane, and we'll use that sketch to create some holes on this part here. So let's do that. Press home on your keyboard and you'll see this. And next, create sketch icon, this icon, click here, and we need to select the YZ plane for this sketch. And now switch to the session view. Just click on this icon and select external jump tool, extract this edge here. Now we have this. We can use this in our geometries. Okay, and now just click here to extract this edge here. Now go to sketch geometry and select the polyline tool, and just zoom in here and create this geometry and this way, and do the same here, this geometry. And here we have this. Now skip this tool. First to select, for example, this line, and now this one here, this and this line, and now we select constraint equal. These geometries here we'll use to create this small chamfer here and this part. So okay, next we'll set the dimensions. So select dimension tool, and now just click here on this line and set a length of 2 millimeters for this. Enter, and now I have this. Okay, next select the polyline tool again, and now create this geometry in this way. Okay, here we have this. Next select equal constraint and make these two lines here equal, and also this line and this line. And now we have 5 degrees of freedom, as you can see. Next, you'll use the constraint horizontal to constrain some points of this geometry. So we have to go to sketch constraints and then click on this arrow and select constraint horizontal. Next, select this point and now this point here, and we have this. Next, select this point and this one here, and we have this. Okay, next select dimension tool, this tool here, click on this line here, and now in this line here, and the angle here will set 45 degrees. Just click on this line and now in this line here and create a vertical distance of 1 millimeters. So it will create a chamfer on this part here with a size of 1 millimeters. Okay, next we need to set the distance from this point to the vertical axis, and here we'll create a horizontal distance of 12 millimeters. Okay, and this sketch is full constrained. Now close the sketch and select groove tool to remove material on this part here. Select groove, and here we have this. Now press OK, and it's all. We have a chamfer here, we have also a chamfer here on this side. The next thing to do now is to create a sketch for this pocket here. If we change to the top view, we can clearly see this. So what we'll do next is to create a sketch to represent this pocket here. Let's do that. Just select this top face here of this part and then click on create sketch icon. And next, what you do, go to this tools here, click in external jump tool and extract this edge and this circular edge here, and now zoom in. Select the polyline tool, and now what you do here, just create this geometry starting from the vertical axis, and now click here on the cycle and here, and now close this geometry in this way. Next, use the constraint constant. Just click in this icon and click in this point, and now in the circular edge, and now we have 1 degree of freedom. So what to do next, select dimension tool and now click in these two lines here, and we'll have to set an angle of 6 degrees. Set 6 degrees, and here we have this. Now skip 2 times to leave the sketch, and as you can see, if we zoom in, we have the sketch exactly here on this face. Okay, the next step now is to use this sketch to create this pocket. So what you do, we need to go to the model tab and select this sketch here, click on pocket tool, just click here, and here we change to 9 millimeters, and then we press OK. Now that we have this, the next step is to create a polar array of this pocket, this operation. To do that, we'll use the polar pattern tool. We need to select the pocket operation on the tree view, and next click on the polar pattern tool, and now change to the top view. As you can see, we have here this pocket. We have 2 occurrences of this object. Let's change here to 50, and here we have this. Now just press OK to finish this. Now the next thing to do is to create this threaded hole. If I rotate this, as you can see, we have a threaded hole here. To create this threaded hole, we can use the hole tool, this tool here. Let's go to our document, and what we need to do is to rotate this model first, and next select this edge here, this circular edge, and then click in hole tool. And now what you need to do is to change the profile. Let's click here and select this first option. The second option here is a merge regular profile, and here I have this, and next we'll set a reference. Let's click here and look for M27, this reference here. Just click here. The depth of this hole must be 9 millimeters, and check this option, flat, and scroll up and click OK. Let's suppose that we want the tree to be visible like we see here on this model. So what you have to do is to go to the hole tool. On these parameters, we have first to check the threaded. Just click here and set true and enter. Close this start page. Okay, and now go to model thread, and here we have to set true and enter. And as you can see, we have this small problem. We only have the thread here. This happens because of the duration, I think. So to fix this, we have to scroll down to sketch basic and we have to go to reverse it, and here we need to set true and enter, and now we have this, as you can see. I can say that we finished the design of this first part here. So in the next steps we'll be trying to create this part here. So okay, let's first rename this body here. Press F2 and rename this body to this name. Okay, and now I have this. Okay, next here, just close this arrow and create a new body. Click here on this icon, and here we have a new body. Select this object and spacebar, and here we have this. Okay, the first thing that we'll do here in order to create this part here is to create a sketch. And that sketch will create a geometry, a section of this part here, and then we'll use the revolve tool to create this solid here. Let's do that. Go to our document, create a sketch, just click here on this icon, and we can select YZ plane or we can select axis plane, no problems. I will select axis plane. Select the polyline tool, and now start the geometry here on this origin axis, create this vertical line, now this horizontal line, and now this line here, and next a vertical line and horizontal. Let's use the dimension tool to set its dimensions. So we'll start setting the vertical distance between this point to this point here. Just click off, and here we must set a length of 30 millimeters for this tapered thread here. And next, for this line here, just click here on this line and click off 52 millimeters and enter. Click on this line here and set a horizontal length of 13.5 millimeters, and we have this. Now skip this tool and drag this line here. What we'll do now is to create an angle here between this line and this vertical line. Select the dimension tool, and now just click here and here on this line, and let's set an angle of 3 degrees, and here I have this, as you can see. Okay, and now we can see this angle, no problems. Close this, and now select this sketch and use the revolve tool to create a solid, and now we have this, as you can see. Click OK now, and it's all. The next thing that we'll do is to create this shape here. To create this shape, we'll need a sketch first. So let's do that. Go to our document, select this face here and create a sketch. Select this geometry here, and now click on the origin axis and create this geometry. Now use the dimension tool and click on the cycle and set a diameter of 34 millimeters. Now escape 2 times to leave the sketch, and next use the pad tool to create an extrusion of this sketch. Set reverse it here and set a length of 8 millimeters, and here I have this. Now press OK. Okay, now as you can see, if I change to the front view, the length of this cylinder is very big than in this model. We can fix this. What you need to do is to change the Z attachment of the sketch of this geometry. We need to go to the model, and then in this operation we need to click on this arrow and select this sketch here that we use it to create this shape here. And with this sketch selected, we have to navigate to attachment offset and next position, and we have to change here to -10 millimeters and enter, and now we have this, as you can see. Okay, now that we have the solid, we can create a thread here in this face like we see here on this model. To create this thread, we'll use the Fastener's workbench to be fast. So let's go to the document and then click on the workbench selector and select Fastener's workbench. If this workbench is not installed in your FreeCAD program, you can install it via add-on manager. Okay, to create this thread here, we'll use the threaded rod tool of Fastener's workbench, this tool here. Just click here on this icon and this will create a match threaded rod. Now just double click here and move this to here, and okay, now let's change to the front view and start changing some parameters of this object here. So select the 3D road here on the tree view, and now we have to navigate to the diameter. What we'll do here is to change this diameter to M27. We'll change the reference. Just click here and look for this reference M27. Change here to 9 millimeters and enter, and here we have this, as you can see. We also have this chamfer here, something that we don't have here on this part here. So to fix this, we have to go to the type of this object, click here and select screen tape and enter, and now we have this. Now to make the thread visible, what you have to do is to set true on the thread option. Just click here and set true and enter, and as you can see here we have this. Okay, now we have a problem. We need to place this object here on this face here. The way to do that on the Fastener's workbench is to use this tool here. But before we do that, we have to select the object and now Control select the edge of this face here. And then click on this tool here. And now we have this. If we change to the front view, we can clearly see this. And it's exactly the same object that we have here on this model. Okay, press home now, and let's go back to the part-time workbench. Okay, now the next step is to create this tapered thread. And the way to do that is to use the part-time workbench, because in the Fastener's workbench we don't have a tool for this specific thread. In the part-time workbench, to create this tapered thread, the first thing that we'll do is to create a sketch in the front view. In that sketch we'll create the geometry for the thread, and next, we'll use the subtractive helix tool to subtract material from this part. Okay, before we create the sketch, let's first create a chamfer here on this edge. Select this edge here and select chamfer tool and press OK. And now we have this, as you can see. And next, click on the create sketch icon to create a sketch. Select axis plane, the front plane. And now choose in here, and the first thing to do is to click on this icon to switch to the section view. And now choose in here, select the external geometry tool, extract this edge and also this edge here. So now I have these 2 points here. These 2 points will be very important for our geometry. So next, select polyline tool and create this geometry. Okay, now that you have this, select equal constraint and make these two lines equal, and select the dimension tool, and now select these two lines here and create an angle of 6 degrees. Now this line here will set a length of 2 millimeters, and it's okay. Now skip this tool and drag this geometry to here, and now just click here and select constraint horizontal. What you'll do with this is to make these two points horizontal, constrain it, and next you'll use the dimension tool to set the distance between this point to this point here, and we'll set a distance of 0.5 millimeters, and here I have this. Now skip 2 times to leave this sketch, and if we zoom in now we can see this geometry. Okay, next we have to go to the model tape, and with this sketch selected we click on the subtractive helix tool. Okay, and now just press home, and the first thing that we'll do here is to set the axis for this operation. Just click here and select the z-axis to avoid errors, and now we go to the height first, and we set 30 millimeters. Now we go to the corner angle, and we must change here to 3 degrees, and here we have this, as you can see. Now if you change, let's change to the front view, and also change the pitch here to, let's say, 2 millimeters, and okay. And as you can see, we have this problem. We can fix this. Let's go to the subtractive helix operation and scroll down to the pitch. Let's change here to 1.6, let's say 1.7, and enter. And as you can see, we still have the same problem. So I think we can change the height. Let's say 29 millimeters and enter. And now we have this, as you can see. So it's fine now. we have here the tapered thread. So this is how we can create a tapered thread using the part-time workbench. And now that we have this, we have to create this hole here, this internal hole. But before we do that, we have to create a fusion of these all parts here. If we go to the tree view and close this arrow, we can see that we have 3 objects here, and here on this document we only have 2 objects. We have 2 parts. We need to create a fusion of these 2 objects here, and the way to do that is to use a tool available in the part workbench. Just click here in the workbench selector and select part workbench, and now just select these 2 objects and now union tool. Now we have 2 objects on the tree view. Okay, now that we have this, we can try to create this hole. We can do that here on the part workbench. And the way to do that is to create a cylinder. Just click here on this tool, cylinder tool, and here we have this, as you can see. Select the cylinder and let's change its radius to 9 millimeters. No, let's say 10 millimeters. And also change the height to 100 and enter. Let's select the cylinder, right click on mouse and select transform tool, and now change to the front view, and let's move this arrow down, and I will have this. Just press OK and zoom in now, and here we have this. Okay, now that we have the cylinder, we can use the cylinder to create a hole. The way to do that is to select this fusion and now control the cylinder and use the cut tool to create a hole. And here we have this. Okay, and now let's go to the tree view, select this object and spacebar to make it visible, and now we have this, as you can see. Let's also move this part here. Select this object, right click on the mouse and select transform tool, change to the front view, and let's move this arrow. Let's move to here. Okay, as you can see, the resolution increment here is 1 millimeter, so you will have to change here to 1. Click OK, and now we have this. So these 2 parts here is exactly the same parts that we have here on this document. So what can I say is we finished the design of this model. Please, if you liked this video, don't forget to hit like and share this video with your friends. If you want to support the content of this channel, there is a link in the video description to the channel's Ko-Fi page. Or you can buy the ebooks that is appearing on the screen now to support the channel. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you.